Some great conclusions to come out of the 4-1 win for Liverpool in their last pre-season in front of a packed house at Anfield. Of course, later on in the day, they're going to play Las Palmas in a little behind closed door friendly. Apparently there are a couple of other Liverpool players that are going to step out in that one, hence why we saw a slightly more coherent Liverpool team today and a slightly more coherent Liverpool performance. There are lots of amazing things to pick out of this game. I want to talk all about that midfield structure, especially with Trent Alexander-Arnold on that side, Lucho coming back into the team, Salah expanding his rollout, and the way that we play Jota or whoever else is going to be in that role. I'm excited to see how this side evolves and how different people fit into different roles. Welcome back to the Laurence McKenna channel. It's good to have you guys. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, hit that button and regularly get updates on what's happening here. There's a Patreon down there. There's also a Discord. Get into that Discord if you're a Liverpool fan. Let's talk a little bit first of all about the side that started this game. I'm certainly confident in the way that 𝙎𝙈𝙬𝙧 is setting them out. A little bit different to the way that we saw last year, but not actually a million miles in terms of the actual structure of the team. It's actually just the passing combinations and obviously the two holding midfielders or the double pivot, which becomes a bit more of a single pivot, or even like there's like a 3 rotating in there, which we kind of knew 𝙎𝙈𝙬𝙧 was going to do anyway. And it's quite exciting to see. It certainly confuses the opposition, makes it Liverpool really difficult to track. And with the runners that are always overlapping on that midfield, you can see Sevilla just couldn't really keep up with where Liverpool were at. And when Liverpool had the control, it feels a bit different to the way that you see the control of, say, a Pep Guardiola team on our Arteta side, where it's just a pass to death. Liverpool work their way down the field in a slightly different way and aren't really afraid to just break roles and rules sometimes within the side to confuse the opposition, pull them out of place and make a goal or make at least an opportunity. And there were plenty of opportunities today. Of course, I think Liverpool actually dominated the first half just a little bit more in terms of possession, in terms of winning the ball back. You could see in the second half it was much more about conserving energy, much more about just keeping Sevilla off, maybe just a bit more like a training exercise than we were used to seeing in some of the pre-seasons. So I'm not angry with that. It's great to see everyone back at Anfield. It's great to see everyone supporting the team. It's great to get a first look at them on home turf. And frankly, they almost seem like casually dominant in this game against Sevilla. Now, the thing I will caveat is, obviously, Sevilla are a little bit behind Liverpool in terms of their pre-season. Their preparation is obviously going to be slightly different. And I think in terms of styles, 𝙎𝙈𝙬𝙧's style was suited to playing a team like Sevilla. Very often they broke the lines in the midfield. Liverpool very quickly receiving the ball and being able to rotate it and get straight through Sevilla's lines a number of times. You see Salah on one side, Jota on the other, just running in and obviously Lucho as well, offering those bounce passes, and then they're straight out. Jota comes deep, Salah goes on, Lucho goes on, and suddenly you've got yourself like what feels like a counter-attack, but actually comes from quite dominant play from Liverpool. And I loved some of the finishing today. Can we speak specifically about the first goal? Amazing assist, amazing finish from Jota. It's great to see. I'll start with Trent. I love this little roaming role. Doesn't seem a million miles away from what Klopp had him doing. Doesn't seem like Liverpool are fully into him playing in the middle of midfield or him playing out as a right back. I think, on paper he starts as a right back. You can see he's always there to support Quansah. Sometimes wanders into the middle, sometimes wanders out wide. Liverpool seem quite comfortable and fluid in the way that he's playing, and he does seem to be able to just pick off the passes and the positions that he wants to with people rotating around him. It makes the double pivot just operate a little bit differently because of the overloads in different places, but it works quite nicely. And again, you see him just picking off the pass, which just stretches Sevilla out. You see him with the vision to be able to just pop a little something into one of the number 10's feet just immediately ahead of him. And it does make a difference. People talk about, oh, well, maybe we could have Bradley full time. And I get that. That would be a great move for Liverpool. But I also feel like the strength, the technical ability, the vision of Trent Alexander-Arnold is something that Liverpool as a side are massively going to thrive on. And it's almost just like an extra string to our bow, if you want. It's great that we've got this incredible coach. It's great that we've got a team that he feels he can already work with. And obviously, we want to add a couple of pieces into that, which is going to be interesting. But I feel like there is a real strength in having Trent in the side, and it makes a big difference to us. You can also see, obviously, just the relationships he has with the other players like Jota. He's able to pick them out, and that just completely unlocks that Sevilla backline, makes a massive difference to the way that we play and move. And I think Jota and other players are going to thrive off that. Similar to the way that in that Feyenoord team, there are a number of players that thrived off the Matt Zwijford or the right back that just wanders into the middle or the left back. So there's a number of different ways that Slot can play, and his adaptability is already showing with this team. It's really enjoyable to watch. doesn't seem as, what's weird about it is my mind is conditioned to expect this intensity from Liverpool. Liverpool do intensely try to win the ball back. There are these little packs that still go out there and hunt, and you see that with a number of sides now. But Liverpool's intensity and the way that they win the ball back, sometimes, I don't know, when they get it back, it's not like they're just instantly away, though very often they are looking for that pass. They're just looking for that control again. They're just looking to get back on the ball, assess Sevilla, and we're away again. And there's something really satisfying about that. Of course, it's our first real opportunity to get a good look at Lucho. Maybe he could change his hair just a little bit. It helps me just differentiating. A couple of different blonde tip guys on the side. Just do something a little bit different with it. Can we just get a little blonde on the side there, a little blonde on the side there, maybe not on top? I like it, don't get me wrong, and it's amazing when you see him through. You see he's got a bit of personality, you see he's kind of got a bit of confidence back, but you also see, again, his hook up with those players and some really good finishing. Obviously, one of the goals, great finish, the cut inside and finish, but the previous goal from when 𝙎𝙈𝙼𝙧𝙥 is just running at the heart of that Sevilla defence, I'm really looking forward to seeing that this season for Liverpool. Just a really incisive, almost feels like red arrows is what they're calling them now. There's formation and then there's wide. There's almost like a meat of the intensity of a Klopp, but the beauty and patterns of a team like Wenger, and that is something really satisfying. It's good because Liverpool are going to continue to be a good team to watch, maybe slightly less intense, but good to watch, and they're going to be picking teams off. And when we've got a couple of people who we can kind of, you know, hang our hat on, especially people in midfield like McAllister, maybe we've got another signing coming in there, but the Gravenberch, I think he's still got a great role to play in this team. I still think 𝙎𝙈𝙼𝙧 has got an incredible number 10 role to play in this side. I look forward to seeing what an understudy of someone like Elliott would play. We still haven't seen Nunez come back. I mean, he wasn't even in this team at all, so it's interesting to see there. But then it's also interesting to see the way that someone like Tsimikas is still very prominent for Liverpool. Of course, Robo's still trying to get his fitness up, but Liverpool can play that with these backup. I mean, they're great backups, but they're backup players in there. And I'm really enjoying watching the way that he's coaching this side, the way that he's just showing, like, I don't just have to have one ideal starting 11. I don't just have one ideal set of players who fit my ideals. I've got this ability to bring what is already a very good side up another level and dominate. I know it takes a lot of ability to dominate, takes a lot of intensity to dominate, but what feels like a quite calm way of dominating an opposition, and suddenly Liverpool are away. Salah looks so accomplished in this team. He's not having to outstrip everyone with pace, though he is very often using it. His vision, his ability to pick out a pass into the middle is utilised. His vision and ability to look just behind him over there, really utilised. There's something really satisfying about watching Salah and Lucho in this team. Maybe a little bit lopsided at times, maybe a little bit skewed, depending on what the setup is. It works really nicely. And then, of course, the subs came on. 𝙎𝙈 came on, and alongside that, Trainiani came on. Niani's still so young, but he's clearly got such personality, obviously getting the goal himself. It's satisfying to see a midfielder come on and do something like that. He's clearly got ability. He's clearly able to pick a pass. He clearly loves to play on the turn. You don't really worry for him when he's out on the field. I think he's growing into this role. I think clearly there is going to be a role for him. Whether we end up loaning him out, like maybe there's a discussion around doing the same with Tyler Morton, like we've just, I mean, we'll talk about the sales in a completely different video, but the moving on a Bobby Clark, moving on a Fabio Carvalho wants those more consistent minutes. I think it makes sense. And I've said it before, I said it on a transfer show I was on the other day. If Fabio Carvalho wants to go out there and get opportunities, it's not necessarily his dream to play for Liverpool, then fair enough. Get off and play for Brentford, other sides like that. I think Liverpool are more than smart enough to cash in on that, optimize and capitalize on that. And I think that's great for our, first of all, the PSR that we're going to be going through, but also the squad as well, to see if you don't want to be here, then you can move on. If you don't want to be here, we're good. That's fine. I think obviously as a fan base, we'd love to have seen him thrive at our club. Anyone loves to see any signing thrive at their team. But the vital thing I think we need to do is back whatever decisions the manager and the transfer committee, if that is still a thing, make. I know they're a transfer committee of people, but I don't know if we want to still use that phrase. It's really satisfying to see the way that Liverpool are playing. There were so many people who hadn't seen us play, who hadn't looked at the squad, who hadn't looked at Klopp last season, who hadn't really paid attention to Liverpool, who are predicting, I think there's going to be a bit of a fall-off. Of course, I will caveat this isn't a competitive game necessarily. This isn't like playing in the Audi Cup or something like that. This is a game where Liverpool are a couple of weeks ahead of Sevilla, and we're just trying to conserve a bit of energy, make sure no one goes out there and gets injured, play our patterns, not necessarily give away too much. And I think that's kind of it here, is like, you know, I'm interested to see this first iteration of the team, but under Slot, you're going to see 3, 4, 5 different shapes, versions. The passing patterns are going to be there. Some of the intensity that we see, the way that they hunt the ball back down. And of course, there are going to be teams that try and work this out, but that's what the intensity and the fun of the modern Premier League is here. Managers work out systems, players and the ability they have are able to take that a step further, the vision that we have. And that's why we want 𝙎𝙈𝙼𝙎. That's why I'm grateful to have Gravenberch and McAllister and Szoboszlai in there. 3 players who under Klopp really developed as, freestylers and being able to just move into different areas, pick out passes, use their vision, but also being able to play within this structure. That's part of being this modern player. You've got the structure, you've got the ability, now get out there and do something extra with it and show me what your ability buys us as a team. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. By the way, really good to see Alisson Becker back. I love to see him in the back line. Slightly worried that we might lose him towards the end of this window. Not sure that's the way that's going to work. But, who knows? We probably bring in another goalkeeper and then loaning him immediately back out. Maybe that's with a long-term vision as to what Alisson wants to do. Maybe he's told us what the plan is around the club. And then, of course, Virgil van Dijk back in that back line. Another imperious performance from him. And just enjoyable to see our captain back. I think a lot of people are, maybe he'll struggle in this position because Slot wants a left-footed centre-back. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think he looked really good. I'm really just sorry, it's my daughter's birthday. I'm really just enjoying watching this Liverpool team at the moment, watching the revolution and watching the changes. Let me know in the comments below what you guys enjoyed. We are thinking about starting membership on this channel. Would anyone be interested in doing that? Maybe for the live streams or a couple of things like that. I'm going to be live streaming the first game of the season next week, just for fun. Come join me. And come join me later for another review of Liverpool's performance this evening. I really appreciate you guys hitting the channel up. We're almost at 18K. If you want to subscribe, get us over the mark. I'd be really appreciative of that. And I'll see you guys again on this channel. Much love.